All right, KISS Army, welcome to the KissFAQ podcast. Thank you for letting us into your head. I hope we don't do any damage. This is a KISS-related podcast by the board, for the board. We hope you enjoy.
Oh, hello again, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the KissFAQ podcast. I am your host this week, Lonnie stlkiss on the KissFAQ message board, and I'm joined this week by, of course, Julian, the admin. Back for 2 weeks in a row, Andrew, alivecatman on the board, and joining us for the first time in a while is Sean, Hooligans Holiday. Guys, it's nice to be with you on a Friday morning.
It's good to be here. Hey, so last week I know I wore that old FAQ That's Nice Now Play Love Gun shirt, so I figured.
And everyone is always interested in your attire, so show yourself off a little bit.
Well, not even that. I think a little bit, and I go, what cool KISS shirt can I wear that not everybody has? So this one is the KISS Cadillac shirt.
Oh, I'm jealous. But
I might ask you to get me one of those.
You totally earned that, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I had to beg for it, and they wouldn't even, because they were only giving them away if you bought a VIP ticket, and I'm like, well, there's no VIP without me, so give me a shirt. But after some begging, well, yeah, literally, the VIP ticket was to meet the band. So I said, there's no VIP without the band, so give me a damn shirt. So after some coercing, I was able to get myself a shirt.
Very nice.
But there are two versions, if you don't know. There's a black one that I guess they sold. And then if you actually worked the event, which I worked the event because I was the band, you got a red shirt. I didn't get a red shirt.
So that was a nice segue saying that there are two versions, because now I get to show this thing up, which is hardcover book. So hardcovers are now available of the Genius Peter Paul book. Very limited edition because they're pretty expensive to have made. So go over to kiss78soloalbums.com and check out the pain that it costs to post nearly 3 pounds of book internationally. Americans, of course, won't get punished as badly as my European friends, and I can't bring enough over to Europe with me when I'm there for my next trip. So check it out, see if you're interested or not. But they're going to be available only until the 19th of November, and then I'm placing the order on them, and that will probably be it, because demand's just not there for these. All right, Lonnie, let's get on with the show.
All right, so
I got the ebook version.
Which one is that? Is that the iBook or the Kindle?
The iBook.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm I guy, so.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I had to ask.
I'm glad I waited, because I think you posted the Kindle version and like the iBook came out like the next day.
Yep.
So I was glad that I waited.
Yep, and I need to update that, so you'll get an updated version of that downloaded.
All right. Today we have a few topics on the agenda today, but let's start off talking about the hot topic in the world of KISS, and that is KISS Kruise V, which just ended a few days ago. And what the speculation that everybody had was, what was KISS going to play for this electric sail away show? They've only done the acoustic sail away. They haven't done an electric show like that before, and I guess it's the first electric show, full-on electric show they've done without makeup in 19 years, I guess. So
yeah, I think you're right. I think
I think
all the non-makers, I know those casinos they did were acoustic and unmasked. And I can't remember I think you're right. I think it's been about 19 years since they played electrically unmasked.
Yeah, full electric show. So,
So this is the Foundations Forum of the 21st century, actually, because that electric sail away show was earth-shattering in what they performed, just like that Foundations Forum, or what was the other one, the Blaze Fest, when all of a sudden in the '94 they started pulling back a whole bunch of the really ancient classics, like Going Blind, back into that set list in that format, and they've just done the same this week.
Yeah, so obviously everybody's probably seen that set list, but just coming out and playing Flaming Youth to start things off, I mean, was a kick in the teeth to anyone wondering, well, what are we really going to get here? Are they just going to go through the motions and give us just a standard style of KISS set list electrically? And to come out and play Flaming Youth, which was the first time it's been performed electrically since '76, was, I saw that. Obviously none of us were there, unfortunately. We don't have a first-hand experience, but when I saw that set list, I was like, holy crap, start off with that. And to go straight into just looking at it here real quick, going into I Stole Your Love, Ladies Room, first time they've played that electrically since, what's,
77.
78. 78.
78.
78, yeah.
Coming Home, Plaster Caster, Mainline, Take Me, World Without Heroes electrically, Shock Me,
Skip that one.
which was a bore. I was really disappointed that was even in there. Love Her All
Come
I Can.
on.
Love Her All I Can, Strange Ways, Mr. Speed electrically, which is maybe the first time electrically.
I
Is
think
ever?
that's the first time electrically, the first time incomplete. They did
Well, I think
they
They
attempted
did on
it.
KISS Kruise too,
Yeah, they did because I was yelling it, and they
Oh, they-
and they played it. Yeah,
Did they go all the way through?
yeah,
yeah,
they did.
Okay.
yeah, they did.
I'm brain farting on that one then.
Come
Well,
on.
who cares? It's one of those nuggets.
Going Blind, All the Way, Christine 16, Making Love. I don't know how, and I haven't seen video of this. I don't know if you guys have or not. I don't know how much of All Hell's Breaking Loose that they tried to get
All
through.
I've seen on the video of that is Paul doing the intro rap, and the other guys are just standing around, and then Tommy, I think, starts playing a little bit of the riff. Won't be this and won't be that. Why do you gotta look like that, man? I said, hey, man, I am cool. I am the breeze, and that's about all I hear.
That's about all I hear.
But it was still cool. Very, very cool to throw that '80s kind of thing in, and maybe
That's Tommy's favorite song.
and maybe Vinny's gonna sue him again this week.
And then Hide Your Heart and Shout It Out Loud to end it. Very cool set list with, rattling it off. Tons of really cool songs that they never play, especially electrically. I mean, Mr. Speed, Flaming Youth, Strange Ways, Going Blind, just fantastic. And people who were wondering what they were going to get off of that just got their money's worth right away.
Yeah, I think trying to guess what they were going to play, that set that they actually executed was nothing like what I envisaged them giving the cruisers. They absolutely blew away my expectations, and I was sitting there going, "Holy shit, I didn't go," and and just standing there open mouthed, hoping that the people who were there enjoyed the fuck out of that experience, because that's just something I could never have anticipated KISS doing. It's just too wild.
Sean, what are your thoughts on that set list?
The big thing that I really like about the set list is that typically with these kind of things, there's a structure to set list. Whereas we had to put this song here to sort of create a flow. And this set list seemed really spontaneous and just we're just going to play a bunch of songs. And there didn't seem to be a whole lot of other thought behind that other than let's just play some cool songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Let's just have fun.
Yeah. I also... Flaming Youth was a surprisingly cool opener. I didn't think that would be good as an opening song, but I thought it worked really well. When I watched the video.
Yeah, that's like a pant-wetting opening song. It's like, holy shit, they're playing that.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they needed to start that thing off with was just a real song from out of nowhere that no one expected them to play at all. Start off with that and just get everybody's jaw to drop to start things off was the perfect way to start it off.
I was going through TSA when the Sail Away show was happening because I obviously didn't go. I had a gig I had to do. So I'm going through TSA and I'm seeing the set list. I was actually looking at the FAQ board, watching the set list come, and I'm like, no, they're playing that. And then when they played Ladies Room, I was like, I wanted them to play Ladies Room since '96. Actually, if you watch the video from the Intrepid '96 press conference, there were people there yelling for Ladies Room. So why did it take them 19 years to be like, oh, maybe we should play this song? It's a great song.
And you know what? It's a smart choice. It's another Gene song. I think it lets Paul rest a little bit more. And if they're going to dig out some songs like that, that's going to kind of shift the vocal load from Paul to Gene. Heck, that's a fantastic one to pick. And I think it was overwhelmingly positive response, even by all the armchair quarterbacks, hanging out underneath their bridges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it got that great of a response that for the electric show, they played it again because I think they saw the amazing response that it got. So, seeing them do that again and do Flaming Youth again, and I think those were obvious choices because they saw the response that they got from the fans by by playing those songs, and hopefully maybe it turns into something that maybe we should play. We can speculate about set lists all day long, but maybe they throw some nuggets like that in there more often.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you only because on the second Electric show they played. What did they play again? They played Flaming Youth at that second Electric show.
Yeah.
Yep.
What did they play right after it?
I Love It Loud.
I Love It
So
Loud.
that's where they're saying, "Fuck all you guys, we're still gonna play the
buzzkill.
same shit."
I think that would have been a total buzzkill if you're at that show. You play Flaming Youth, like, okay, what are they gonna do next? What are they gonna do next? And they go and I Love It Loud. I'd have been like, seriously.
Do you guys remember on the Rock the Nation tour, like the first time they started mixing things up, and for a while they had one like rotating song where they would like swap out one song, and then Psycho Circus appeared, and it kind of stayed for like 10 shows, 12, and then it stayed.
Yes.
So I remember I had seen them in Hershey, Pennsylvania on that 2004 tour, and I think right prior to that they had played Psycho Circus maybe 3 or 4 times in a row. So I had hopes that they were going to mix it up and do something cool, like All the Way or Love Her All I Can or something cool. And Paul starts introducing Psycho Circus, and if you listen to the instant live, I yelled so loud. I was like, "Oh, come on, not this song!" It's on the instant live. It's on there. I was in the 10th row, and it was so loud. The people next to me were like, "The hell's wrong with this kid?" Because I had been following the set for the whole tour. So when they played that, I was like, "Oh." But it was okay because a week later, I went to see them in Bristow, Virginia, and
You
Virginia
got lucky
Beach.
there.
Oh, you
So
saw
I saw
the
I saw the DVD shows, which I'm actually on the DVD. So I saw both of those shows.
That's okay. I saw All the Way. I was happy.
Yeah, so did I. I saw.
But everyone, what was the audience response to that song around you? This is a public audience versus a cruise because the whole place at Concord just went dead.
Yeah, so I was in the third or fifth row for the show that they did All the Way for, because they didn't do All the Way both nights. They did different songs each night, so they got to capture them all. And they played All the Way, and I don't think anybody knew it. No. And they even when they pulled out songs like at the time, Love Her All I Can, and they were playing Parasite again for the first time. Well, even when they played songs like that, people were like, "They gonna play Beth next?"
Yeah, so we know it doesn't work for the public, but on a cruise, All the Way, that's deep. Perfect. People are going to love it. Love Her All I Can. I mean, I was pissed in 2004 that they played that the next night. I was like, I would rather have heard Love Her All I Can than All the Way, but I'm just happy I got to hear a gem in concert.
Oh, here's actually a funny story. When they started doing Christine 16 on that tour, and I remember I saw them 2 nights in a row. And the first night, Paul introduced Christine 16 from being off of Rock and Roll Over. So I was backstage the next night because I did the platinum ticket thing. And at the time in 2004, it was really cool. It was limited to like 15 or 20 people, so it was a really small
really
group.
Cool. Then.
So when it came my turn to go up to Paul, I said, "Hey, Paul, I think Christine 16 is off Love Gun and not Rock and Roll Over." And like the room went silent, and he goes, "Yeah, maybe you're right," and then walked away from me. But that night he introduced it from Love Gun.
How about that?
I probably pissed him off though.
So could the set list have been any better though? You still have, we're KISS fans. We got to pick things apart a little bit and complain a little bit about anything. So you still have Shock Me in there, which I think is a sleeper in the middle of there. And I think even Christine 16, we were just talking about that, Christine 16, I think, does that really need to be in there too? Those two, to my opinion, those 2 songs don't fit in that set list.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. I think they maybe could have done other songs, but you know as well as I do, if Tommy ever did another Ace song, people would just flip out. People are used to him doing Shock Me. He did it for an entire tour. Mm-hmm. And I actually really don't mind him singing those Ace songs. But why not pull out like When Lightning Strikes? Like that would have been cool.
Sure. And it would have been it's a perfect venue to do that at too.
And it's Tommy's song.
Yeah, I'm going to totally agree with you on that. I think that set's perfect for an Electric Sail Away. It's got enough of the exciting, spicy moments and enough of just the regular stuff that they need to kind of pad out a set because they don't want to learn 20. Look at the length of that set. That's a good length set. It's well balanced. They haven't given too much away for what the whole cruise was about, which was, of course, celebrating KISS Alive. So, other than Shock Me, which I'm just never going to like Tommy doing it, at all. I'd rather he had done, like Andrew said, one of those songs. That would be fine. Or I'd rather he really pissed people off and did Hard Times or Save My Love. Save Your Love.
Save Your Love.
Save Your Love. Okay. Rise Your Heart.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
That's right.
Yeah, Rise Your Heart. I was like, wait, what song is that?
But other than that, arm sharing it, perfection.
All right. Well, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that because we were just like anybody else watching the set list come up online and watching YouTube videos once the cruise docked. So.
Yeah, just wait for the pictures from those indoor shows as well, because that stage, them
that's fantastic looking.
Replicating the 75 look, which is absolutely fantastic. They look like the best tribute band out there with that 75 setup.
Dude, did anybody notice? And I didn't notice this at first, but somebody posted a front row picture of Paul. Did anybody notice he had string holding the front of his costume so it wouldn't open up?
Oh,
it's there.
No.
It's there. Yeah, he's like
modifications when you're in your 60s.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not throwing him to the dogs or anything, but I saw that. I go, I wonder how many people noticed that.
Yeah, smart. Who knows? Did they have that in 75 as well? Maybe.
Of course not.
Yeah.
He weighed like 100 pounds in 1975. Now it's, I'm assuming he didn't want it to fly open or open up.
Yeah,
because...
you know what? Regardless of any of the kind of magician's tricks, I thought they looked fantastic.
Well, they did.
I thought they sounded pretty good. And Paul's private set, for the for the exclusives, playing Mistake. I think that's the only other thing we really need to kind of mention is, holy shit, he played a demo.
That was extremely surprising when I saw that, and then seeing the video of him doing that was really mind-blowing, just seeing that. And then you did Hold Me Touch Me on that too.
Ugh.
And does Paul love Nowhere to Run? Because he seems to always want to do that song.
He does. I think that's probably the biggest song out there that he regrets never performing live properly. And give me that I Still Love You and Nowhere to Run, two of his very, very, very best songs.
I think he probably regrets that Nowhere to Run is on, at the end of the day, he regrets that it's on Killers and it's not available in the U.S. and it makes it hard for him to
It actually is. It was on the box set.
That's not my point, jackass.
But no, I get your point, because America was the only country where that compilation wasn't released. And,
right.
At the time, they really needed popularity in America, and it just wasn't there. So, how many versions of that album do you have, Julian?
Too many.
3, 4.
I got 4. And it's like this. It's like, this song. I don't even listen to it, but I have it. I don't even know.
You saw that Mexican one I posted yesterday on Facebook.
Yeah, that was really cool. That's really, really cool.
That one's actually nice condition. Then of course I've got Killers from the Box, the Kisteria, the UK. Whatever. Let's get on with the show. Save your vinyl podcast for you're going to be doing a podcast, aren't you? Yeah.
It's a vinyl podcast called. Right now we're working the details, but you can join the Facebook group. It's called Kiss My Wax, and it's all about Kiss vinyl and 12-inch, 45s, bootlegs, all that stuff. We're gonna tackle everything. We got some cool stuff in store.
Who are you gonna do the show with?
The show is with Jason, and I'm gonna really butcher his last name, Herndon or Herdon, but he's
Herndon.
Yeah, he's Down Boys on the board.
Good guy.
And great guy. And then obviously the vinyl resident Tom Shannon, who everybody knows worked on the singles box set and then worked on Kisteria as well.
Very nice. That'll be a good panel.
Yeah, so it's going to be good. We got together a couple nights ago and we were just talking and figuring out what we wanted to do. So It's going to be fun.
Well, keep us posted. And we'll make sure we get word out when we do our shows, when your first episode's up.
Yeah, I think we're going to record in the next couple weeks. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Sounds good. All right, well, the crux of today's show, we're going to talk about KISS videos from the early days. The live videos, Rock and Roll Over, Dynasty. We're just going to run through them and talk about some of those. First videos they did were Rock and Roll All Night and Come On and Love Me, that were filmed at the Michigan Palace in May of '75. You can see him below Julian, and really captures the band in their early day. Some great early footage of the band, obviously, and 2 great songs to capture on video. It's really it's like almost a souvenir from what the band looked like on Alive, obviously, because it's shot the same time as the cover was. So, gentlemen, what are your thoughts on these two first videos from the Dress to Kill / Alive area? And Julian, let's start with you.
You know, you basically just summed them up for me. These were filmed at the Michigan Palace while they were rehearsing for their Kobo Hall show. So like a day before one of the shows recorded for Alive, and it just embodies the Alive era for me. I mean, I've had these queued up for a few days, and I've actually watched them a lot more than I have previously. Just getting ready for the show, and it's just so freaking fun. It's Alive. It's that era that embodies everything that really is what KISS is about to me. So I mean, it's kind of good that we've just talked about the KISS Cruise, which was of course all about Alive. It's kind of a good connection there. They're just young, they're hungry, they're having fun, and there's no drama in these. It's just everything that's, you know, summed up from the album covers right there in the video in motion. So love them. And of course, Come On and Love Me, one of my all-time favorite KISS songs, which I'll go into in a minute while you guys are talking. Just leave these playing in the background.
Does anybody else think it's cool that they're... Oh, yeah, you can go first, Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I really love these videos. I like the way they look. I like that arena, the Michigan Palace. I just like the way it looks. I like the way these videos are shot. And I also really like the little bits of like backstage that they put in, them interacting with fans, signing autographs, shots like that one from the actual shows. I just really like how they're put together.
Yeah, and that's before they really have producers and stuff. This is, I think, Alcoin and his kind of his flip side background that made these. I've never seen any credits for anyone else helping out.
Does anybody else think it's cool that... I think there might even be some stuff missing on these clips that you were playing, Julian, because there's that backstage footage where they're like behind the gate, and I don't know if that's before. What I did to prepare for the show is I looked on YouTube and I found both of them like edited together, and I found one where it had the where it started with them like signing the autographs, and is this the same clip where they're arriving at the airport? That's Detroit 76, right?
That's Detroit. Yeah, these ones are straight off YouTube. I didn't have time to rip them off any of the videos that I've got, so I just downloaded YouTube clips and put them up.
I think it's cool. The coolest part about this is, well, first of all, they're wearing those Alive costumes that they didn't wear. Your jean spikes are black. Paul doesn't have any stars on the bodysuit. Ace's costume is long sleeve, and Peter's costume is totally different. He has the fur and whatnot and everything. So it's cool to see those costumes like actually in like moving around and not in just pictures. And the coolest part about these videos is that there is those actual film clips from the actual night at Cobo Hall. It's because the Cobo Hall was filmed on actual film footage. This is videotape. Cobo Hall was shot on film, but we don't know how much exists, and some of it, like, see that's from Cobo Hall.
Yep.
So, and stuff like that, we don't know how much exists. I know some of it was used in VH1 documentaries, and maybe some of it appeared on Kissology. If you look in those menus of Kissology Volume 1 and Volume 2, there's tons of hidden stuff in those motion menus. So stuff like this is cool, and stuff like this is what I want to see. I want to see the actual Alive recording, or the actual outtakes of this stuff. I mean, this is KISS right before they broke huge.
I bet Kurt Gooch could tell you exactly how much of the footage exists.
You know, I think there's somebody that was on the message board. I think it's Faster P. Diddy, who edited together all the known footage out there.
That's Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he edited that all together, which is great, and it's from several different VH1 documentaries as well as this stuff too, and it shows such cool stuff. And you see Peter, his makeup is all washed off, and you know, it would be amazing to see that that footage. It would be. That's my holy grail.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before. Unfortunately, with the 40th anniversary of Alive, just recently, that they didn't do anything more to celebrate it more than just having the cruise be the, you know, of replicating it. It's too bad they didn't have any kind of release like on Alive Deluxe or anything like that. But as far as these videos go, it's some of the greatest footage, in my opinion, of how hungry that band was at the time before Alive released. You know, a struggling band that's waiting to make it big. and it's them just on the cusp of that happening. So it's some great footage, and I think we're lucky to see things like that 40 years later of the band in that state. So after these two videos, they don't do anything for. There are no promo videos for Destroyer, which
You almost wonder what these were for. Like, why did they make these?
Mm-hmm.
What was the? Why are they having these? Because remember, there wasn't an MTV at the time. I think the only game in town was Don Kirshner's rock concert, which I know aired these next batch of videos, the 3 Rock and Roll Over videos. But what were these made for? And why?
I think they were made for to show countries outside of the U.S. footage of the band. I think was the idea. From I think what they said on the commentary for Kissology. I think they talked about it was mainly to promote the UK tour. Okay. That was a ways after this.
So these were shot in May of '75, and they went to the UK in March of '76, which, at the time...
No, they went May '76, but they had originally planned their itinerary for the rest of the year, had originally had them traveling to Europe for their first visit in late '75. Was when they planned. I think it was October. And then, of course, things between Casablanca and Aucoin blew up. And, of course, we've heard about the delay in recording Destroyer, so that threw that schedule all into disarray.
So that makes sense.
So, with a 5-month lead then for these being completed, would have made sense for using them promotionally. So that's a good catch, Sean, and another good reason for people to listen to the commentary tracks on the Kissologies, that there's a lot of extra information from Paul and Gene and other guys in those.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense now.
Yeah, it's a good catch, Sean. So nothing though for Destroyer, which is interesting.
Well, there's the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
Yeah, there's the Paul Lynde. But I mean, no videos like these or the ones up Rock and Roll Over and that, with Destroyer being as visual as they're trying to be, I think, and trying to take a different direction. But nothing for Destroyer, but they do 3 for Rock and Roll Over, which you can see below Julian now. I Want You, Hard Luck Woman, and Love 'Em, Leave 'Em.
Which, funny, the last 2 weren't really performed live on that Rock and Roll Over tour.
No, it's really, and Love 'Em, Leave 'Em is, in my opinion, is a great song, and never really done at all. I mean, they did them in those Japan shows in '06 is the only thing I can even.
For which? Which?
Japan in 2006 they did Love 'Em, Leave 'Em.
Yeah, they did Love 'Em and Leave 'Em for Rock and Roll Over.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like a staple, like what I Want You became.
Yeah, just like Hard Luck Woman. I mean, then we did that through mid-December, but it did get enough electrical performances, at the time. But, it was a single, so it makes sense from that context that here's one of the singles. But obviously, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em was not anything. I Want You, I don't remember being on any single. So it was Take Me, Calling Dr. Love, Hard Luck Woman, and I'm drawing a blank on the 4th side of the second single. So
is it Thanks, Mr. Speed?
Oh yeah, good one. Duh. So interesting selection. I mean, these are all filmed at Camp Curtis Gill. During rehearsals right before they head out on tour. So I think you get to see the costumes, you get to see the band, and again, for the same sort of use, obviously they were for Don Kirshner, but they had use outside of that as what we'd call regular promotional videos as that started to grow in the mid-'70s. I mean, a bunch of bands were starting to do kind of these sorts of videos. Angel, obviously another Casablanca act, and God knows who else.
In the band, you can obviously you see the costumes, and I think they're more professionally done than those alive videos. You can see the difference in how the band is shot, and obviously we just see the pyro going on around them too, and it's just you can see how much they've grown since those alive videos to where they are at this point.
Hey, finally a shot of Peter Criss. He's barely in this one.
Well, Hard Luck Woman is all Peter Criss, so.
Well, I mean, at the time, and this isn't to blow anybody's head up, but at the time, they were 4 superstars. So when I see stuff, I'm like, where's the other guy in the band?
He's just a drummer.
He's not really a musician. He's just a drummer.
I see.
He doesn't really. Yeah. All right, let's be nice to Andrew.
And see, here we go. This one's all Peter. Peter just singing his heart out, playing his heart out. Well, just remember, guys. You know, I know this is a topic up for argument, and definitely not for the show. But remember, Kiss may not have existed without Beth. That was such a huge hit and propelled so many things and enabled them to do so many other things. So,
well, and I think that's why I think Hard Luck Woman is there, and Hard Luck Woman is a single. And Peter is featured so much in this video is they were trying to go off of what happened with Beth and
the formula.
Look at that! Look at that video. Doesn't Peter look fucking happy?
Yeah,
That's a
he doesn't
happy
look
guy.
like his usual Ayatollah Chris Cola.
There, now Paul gets a moment. There's Paul's hand. He always did like his hands.
And it's back to Peter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at them in this clip. I mean, I know my favorite look is Love Gun, but like late '76 or early '77, they looked great. The makeup looked great. The costumes looked great. They were all in shape, and everything looked. They were getting their first tastes of everything that was good. They were eating good. They were getting the best of whatever they wanted. So when I watched these clips, and obviously I didn't see them on Don Kirshner's rock concert because I was way too young, wasn't alive. But I saw these on those original early '90s.
This is my favorite
Kiss
one.
Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at these videos. I mean,
Look at Gene in this. Gene right here, right now, is so badass. And Peter, when they keep cutting to him from the above angle, these are extremely well filmed for 1976 in a rehearsal facility.
and they keep cutting to him, and he's like not playing what you're hearing. So you're like, wait, what's going on?
And that's the demon right there. Is Gene? It's his personality just shining through right there. You know, that's, you know, and even as much as, you know, he became the demon again in '96. I mean, this footage from '76, seeing it like that, that's nothing like that with, you know, those movements like that, and it's just, you know, that's Gene Simmons in the '70s.
So while we're talking about this footage, let's do a quick shout out to there's, if you follow some of the unofficial releases, there's an unofficial release that has the rehearsals from, I guess, around this time when they were rehearsing in that Air Force base. And there's also some footage on the Kiss My Ass long form video. And there's also another bootleg that's circulating that shows more rehearsal footage of them doing this black and white without makeup, you know, shot from, you know, kind of far back. So it's kind of cool to get a glimpse as to, you know, where Kiss rehearsed at that time and all that stuff. It's definitely check out the, what is it, Take Me? That's on Kiss My Ass.
Take Me's on Kiss My Ass.
Yeah, definitely. You know, if anybody watching hasn't watched that video in a long time, definitely check out that clip of Take Me. It's cool to see them rehearsing, and then obviously you can just go on YouTube and find them. We're actually rehearsing "Love 'Em and Leave 'Em" in the same place. You could tell it's the same place. You could tell, and it's cool because you're seeing the band evolve and you're seeing the band rehearse for this stuff. And obviously, it wasn't just one day go, hey, we should film this. They actually sat back and thought about it. Because I mean, look at how beautifully shot this stuff is. So it's great.
Yeah, I'd like to find out some more details on who kind of directed this and who they used to film it, because obviously it was a quantum leap from the previous one. I mean, lighting, fog, everything. I mean, it's
you can tell how much more professionally done they are.
I think they just had more money at the time. They could waste all that fog for 2-3 days. Probably back in '75, they were like, well, if we use the fog tonight, we're not going to be able to use it tomorrow, and we can't afford to
conserve the fog.
Yeah, you got to conserve whatever they could.
Exactly.
Sean, what do you think about these ones compared to the '75?
Compared to the '75 ones, I think these are a lot better. A part of that is I just like the way they look here a lot better. When I was a kid, my favorite part of watching the extreme close-up video was when they played this and I Love 'Em Leave 'Em. Love 'Em Leave 'Em. I really always loved these videos. My only, just one small nitpick is it always kind of bothers me in videos when the recording is clearly an acoustic guitar, but then they're playing electric guitars in the video. That's just a small thing that always kind of bugs me.
There you go, Andrew. I queued up some more Catman for you, so
There you go. He looks great
respect.
here. He looks great here. He really does.
Yeah, these are just, and obviously it's my favorite Kiss album, so I've said it before, Rock and Roll Over. Love it. So,
Mine too. Mine too.
odd choice of songs, but like you said, there's a lot of other rehearsal footage out there and audio. There's multiple sets recorded from the rehearsal, so there's a whole bunch of stuff like this. Well, not like this, because it's not this quality, but there's some cool stuff. All right, Lonnie, take us on in our journey.
So, nothing for Love Gun and Alive 2 as far as promo videos go.
Do you find that weird that Love
Definitely.
Gun, they had so much merchandise coming out at that time? You know, they had the Kiss radio. Obviously, a little bit later, they had the solo albums. They had several different commercials for Love Gun and Alive 2, but no clips like this for Love Gun. I mean, they had the Alive 2 promo that was typically used for, when they were on TV. I know when Paul was on PM Magazine, they used it there. Obviously, when Gene was on the WMMS show in 78 for the Soul albums, they used it then. So you could tell that little Alive 2 promo reel got some usage, but nothing like this. And
No,
you kind of
nothing
wonder
like
why.
this. And it's really strange because the band had, it's not like they wore the same costumes again. The band had a new look and a new stage.
And no plans to go to Europe. And they didn't need any advertising in Japan. So it may strictly have been economics that they knew they didn't need to send video of them looking different to other markets.
Yeah.
Maybe because those markets just weren't important enough to justify it.
And there is no MTV either. I mean, let's remember that too. Bands weren't really filming videos at the time.
It's just so weird to me that, you know, at this time, Led Zeppelin is getting ready to put out The Song Remains the Same. You know, Queen obviously is filming stuff. Alice Cooper is filming. When did Welcome to My Nightmare come out? Was that 75?
75.
75? Okay, so Alice Cooper had that, and other bands had these really great visual documentaries of what was going on musically with them at the time. Kiss doesn't have that. You wonder why. You wonder if something was planned. So, and I guess maybe the closest thing we get to something like this is a really great TV clip called Land of Hype and Glory.
Hell yeah.
Where it has a lot of stuff from the Forum show. And a lot of them being interviewed. So you wonder, like, why isn't there more like this for the Love Gun era, which was arguably their most popular era?
Yeah, it's the pinnacle of their success. But we do get some video from Dynasty. There's definitely a new look for the band and a new stage for the band for that era, and you can see it below Julian. Filmed on June 20th, 1979 in Savannah, Georgia. We get I Was Made for Loving You and Sure Know Something for the two promo videos from this album. You can look, I mean, just in the short time we've been talking, we've seen Kiss in 75 at the Live, and you see Kiss now in 79, how much they've changed and evolved that quickly. And it's really like, I really compare them to the Beatles. Look how fast the Beatles evolved from what they were on the Ed Sullivan Show to what the Beatles were by Let It Be, and how quickly they evolved. Kiss really evolved quickly in the 70s too, you know, despite having the makeup obviously, but just the look of the band really evolved very, very fast. And the sound of the band now is different as well. So, but they do a good, the videos do a great job of showcasing the band and showcasing what they were trying to do at that point. Obviously, Sure Know Something was never performed live on the tour, so it's an interesting choice. No Gene songs or Ace songs, two Paul songs. What are your thoughts on these videos, Julian?
You know what? I've just flipped over to Sure Know Something because I think the other one is too high definition for the stream. And the immediate thing I saw on that is there are better camera angles on Sure Know Something than I Was Made for Loving You. I Was Made for Loving You is just like boring, kind of nothing that much different than the previous videos that they did. But they're starting to get a little bit more conceptual. I mean, look at Gene here. I mean, he's really in full mode. They're in full costume. So I like Sure Know Something way better than I Was Made for Loving You. That's just pure performance. This one has better coming in close up, zooming in, zooming out, getting more creative and artistic. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one to death right now. So it made sense, good business sense. You've got the venue, your show's canceled. Let's make a video. And who is the guy that did this? I'm just looking at the notes here, and that's John Goodhue, a Clio award-winning director. So, they definitely stepped out and gotten someone who was one of the pioneers in the industry to do their videos, and it certainly shows. There's a very high level of quality to this.
My favorite part in this video is when they recreate the front cover of Dynasty, and in the acapella part. That's my favorite part, and there's even some outtakes of that in one of the VH1 KISS documentaries. So it's cool. I mean, Sure Know Something is definitely the better of the two clips. And was this was also on Don Kirshner's rock concert as well too, right?
I have no idea where these were used. So
I think it was on Don Kirshner's rock concert. I think I'm almost positive they were on Don Kirshner's rock concert, but they were used for so many other different things. Like they were shown before Attack of the Phantoms in some of the prints over in Europe. So you would see these two things, and then you would see the Attack of the Phantoms film before that. So I mean, these were used quite a bit, and you see there are so many things that they were used for, and I guess there was more of a visual medium at this time to advertise the band. I mean, the Dynasty tour is obviously only an American tour, so you wonder who else got them.
Well, it's the
that's my favorite part,
Andrew.
It's the best part. It's so cool.
That's just like the opening sequence to Phantom.
Kind of. But look at how look at that.
That's cool.
So cool. Someone needs to make a GIF of that little part just so I can watch that part. Just go in and out all day and just watch that all day. And it'd be mesmerizing. Like make a Vine of it. And I'd just be like all day just.
Well, whoever wants to do that and suck up to Andrew can.
Someone do it for me, please. I'll give you a drumstick. People want those. I don't know why.
So those videos are a good representation of what the band was trying to do in '79 with Dynasty.
So what do you think, Sean? Is this the right direction for the band, or should they be doing something different?
It's really jarring to go from seeing the rock and roll over videos going straight to these. It's really bizarre. I liked these a lot better when I was younger, but seeing them in HE on YouTube, the way people have remastered them, it's almost kind of overwhelming. It's sort of like watching the Schumacher Batman movies, where there's just so much color and it's so bright, and it's just kind of hard to actually look at. I like the Sure Know Something one, just because there is fun stuff like recreating the cover, and I like Paul's purple costume as opposed to the silver half cape thing, whatever that is. I can imagine what it would have been like seeing this in a theater with Attack of the Phantoms immediately following. I bet that was
That would have been neat. Very Vegas-y.
Yeah. Do you guys think we'll ever see the Dynasty costumes again?
I hope not.
I hope not.
I think
actually, you know what? There was someone posted something a while back that Figures toy company, that their negative KISS action figures were going to be Dynasty. Like we saw a picture of the faces. That was such a long time ago. I don't know if we're ever going to see proper Dynasty action figures. Obviously, we got the Unmasked ones with the Eric Carr Palladium makeup, but they said there's a picture out there. So if you look the internet hard enough, you'll see the picture of the four faces with the Dynasty album cover. I'm kind of anxious to see what those toys are going to look like, because the Dress to Kill ones are awesome.
Yeah, I'd buy the Ace one.
Yeah, that is interesting, Andy, because we saw those pictures a while back, and they were supposed to be rumored to come out in the fall, and it's
almost winter.
We've heard nothing about them. So,
and I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Julian, you're not into the toys?
No.
Shocking. So they do one video for Unmasked with Shandy. It's Peter's last appearance with the band. And it's the first video that we see more footage than just the band on stage, that it's more of a concept type video. So band still looks very glammy in their unmasked outfits. Paul looks a lot better than he doesn't have the Dynasty top on, but I don't know what that silver half deal is, what he has going on in the video. But
It's a rescue blanket.
it looks like the cape they give me after I get done running a marathon. Put it on the back of me or something.
Yeah, but he had the same cape. He had the same cape during the "I Was Made for Loving You" video.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same cape.
Well, I don't know. So it's goofy looking in my opinion. But
Are these the actual? I don't think these are the unmasked costumes. I guess we'll know when we see Gene, because obviously Gene's Dynasty and his unmasked costume were different. No, that's still the Dynasty costume.
Yeah, so this is May 1980, don't forget. Before Peter's gone, before auditions have even occurred. So it's very transitionary. It's his last obligation with the band before he goes out of control. So, they probably didn't have the costumes ready. I think this is another HD one, as it's getting pretty herky-jerky. But, I actually like this one. It's the first one when they really start getting conceptual. It's got a little bit of a plot line that ties in somewhat with where the album cover was, the paparazzi, with the girl trying to see them unmasked. And, as everyone knows from the cruise as well, Paul's finally officially copped to where everything comes from in this song. The Bruce Springsteen, Sandy, the Joe Walsh, Tomorrow, and out of those two songs, he creates this. So I think, when I first saw this, I thought, oh yeah, cool, nice. Again, nicely filmed.
Does anybody else think it's funny that it looks like Peter's playing a different song? Like every time they cut to Peter, it's like, he's playing a different song. He's like,
he's doing his drum solo.
Every time I watch it, I'm like, this is like he's playing a different song. It's like maybe they told him, they go, let's trick him and tell him we're actually going to do this song, but it's going to be shitty. He won't know the difference.
You kind of stole it from me, and I was just going to say my favorite part of this video is watching Peter and seeing how he's playing a different song, and just watching him in general, because it is his last appearance with the band, and he knew this was it when he was doing this. So it's kind of interesting to watch him. It's the last time putting on the makeup. This is it. So it's kind of interesting just to watch him and his facial expressions and just his actions during the video. It's kind of...
Yeah, they probably just told him, Peter, this one's in 7/8 time, and, let's go. Just play it like you did to Short Rock City.
Looks like it froze now, probably because it was that HD upscale.
No, I paused it because it was just jerking around too much.
I think the end is the coolest part, where you actually see them putting on their off-stage clothes at the time, and then you see them still in the makeup. I think that's the coolest part.
All right, let's see if we can get the technology to...
Yeah, see, this is the coolest part, where you see them walk into the dressing room.
In order to ensure Andrew's happiness...
keep Andrew happy. Keep the drummer happy.
It's the coolest part.
I don't want him throwing drumsticks at my head.
Watching the guys get undressed, that's your favorite part?
No, just seeing that, seeing other pieces of the costume, like you saw where it said Ace underneath his Dynasty costume, and then you see them, putting on these very 70s style clothes. I mean, that's cool. And you kind of know, and that that's Ace.
Yeah, you kind of know who's who.
Like this part's cool. This part is very cool. Still in the makeup.
That last frame is fantastic. Is extremely cool. Agree. And that's again reminiscent of Dress to Kill, and what they did a few years ago with what was it, Dumby, or the New York fashion show of what was it?
Oh, John Varvatos.
Yeah,
Varvatos. Whatever it is.
Yeah. So very cool.
That's really cool footage too. So, well,
so that's the original makeup era videos.
Yeah, but we're not quite done yet.
Well, no, because now we get into this is obviously with Eric Carr, and this is obviously the non-original lineup, even though Peter didn't play in the last two albums. But first of all, why aren't those videos released separately? I know some of them are on Kissology, but just seems to me that it would just be an easy cash grab for them.
Yeah, do you remember
Like
a few years
issues?
ago? Yeah, there might be rights issues, but do you remember a few years ago they were actually queuing up a release of all the compilation videos in Japan? I can't remember the name of the
Lick It
video.
Up.
It
It's
was
called
going to
Lick
be
It
called
Up.
Lick It Up, and that never happened. And
Yeah.
with Kissologies having them spread in between, and these being all over the places, they should just do one volume. I would buy that in a minute just to have
So would I.
all
Just
of
have
them
them all in one spot.
in perfect quality as well. So I mean, look at the Beatles are putting out reissuing one with a bonus DVD of all their videos that they had used similarly in the 1960s once they stopped touring. So Kiss, you want to be like the Beatles? Come on, you obviously can't do number ones, but you can certainly put out a greatest hits album with all the video tracks on one audio CD and all the videos on one DVD. Come on, make me
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, and we could call it Kiss Greatest Video Licks. Gene, I will accept my check right now.
It's too late. He's already copyrighted. You're not going to get anything.
That's fine. You know what? Here's my in complete honesty. If I were to ever work on an official Kiss project, I wouldn't want to get paid. Just put my name on it. Just say, special thanks to, or this, that, or Andrew did this. That's all I need. Done.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
I love Ace playing an electric solo.
It's Paul. This is Paul playing this
Yep.
song.
It's Paul.
Now, this is another extremely well done video, I gotta say, and this was filmed Halloween weekend, 1981, and they're in New York for 3 days to do 2 videos. Obviously, only one gets finished that we know of, and no one seems to know anything about the Mysterious Eye video.
The ice sculptures in the background.
Yeah, so everyone's seen that crappy compilation that almost looks like it was homemade by a fan. I just don't know the legitimacy of that one. But we know that they were supposed to do Eye as well. I mean, Andrew's made Gene cry here, so Andrew, you're mean. Saying that
Gene's crying that they didn't finish the eye video.
No, Gene's crying because Andrew asked for a check. So
Yeah. I looked at that little flame was something put in. I guess someone else was like, "Oh, I uploaded this video. I'm gonna put my name on there."
yeah, again, these are all ripped from YouTube. I don't have the time. I've actually got my VHS deck right here, but I did not have time to go rip in all these from VHS sources. And
So
Has One Without Arrows ever been on a DVD, or is it just on like Extreme Close Up in terms of official releases?
Some of them are on Kissology. I know this isn't on Kissology.
This is not on Kissology.
No, they're not.
And this is the best one.
This is their best video, period.
And I remember seeing this in the summer of 89 or 90. And this was obviously Kiss Meets the Phantom was my first introduction to Kiss, but soon after I saw this, and at the time I thought it was new. I'm like, oh my God, this is the new Kiss video. And I had it on VHS, but I didn't have, I taped it while the video was on, and I think it started right around here. And I just remember watching this, thinking "Whoa, this is so cool! This is so cool!" And this was the first legitimate Kiss music video.
Yeah.
And obviously, it was the last.
This video reminds me of how much I used to love the song when I first heard it, when I first saw the video, and then now I don't ever need to hear it again. But
I agree.
But the video reminds me of how much I used to love the song, because the video is just so perfect. It's so well done, and you see the band in the state of what they're in 1982, and they're hungry to be that heavy band again.
And videos have moved on so far in 2 or 3 years. You got to remember, 81 MTV is out, so all of a sudden this has become business. This has become an art form, and it really shows. I mean, I remember when I first saw this, discovering Kiss in '85. I saw this video, and this is really my first interaction with Kiss in makeup. Is this video? So this badass stage. I mean, this is their rehearsal stage for the tour.
No, this was filmed live at a Creatures of the Night show. That's how poorly attended they were. There was no one showed up that night.
Just cameraman. Yeah. So this to me, just is my first real interaction with Kiss in makeup. So even to this day, I see this video and I just, smile the hell away because it's, my 14-year-old self is just digging it again. So I love it.
And you forget
also-
how cool this video is because,
Oh, yeah.
well, obviously we don't want to hear this song ever again. So it's better that we're
Perfect that it's
watching.
on mute. Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say that it's awesome. I love this video so much more than that now that it's on mute.
Sean, when did you first see this video? Just now?
For me, it was probably on one of the home videos, like Exposed or Extreme Close Up, along with a lot of the other ones. And yeah, this has always been a favorite. I think a lot of it, I always like seeing the videos with Gene taking center stage and his songs. I think that's always really fun to see him in most of the video as opposed to in the background. Eric's really great in it. The way he's just pounding the drums, and you got the tank, because that is the tank set, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The real
I
tank
thought
set
I
as
wasn't
well.
sure if they had it yet or not. I haven't seen it yet. And of course, the actual clips with the family were always really cool.
Yeah, that's Harold Marks, the dad.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
This video it's just so well done, and it's definitely like you could definitely feel the '80s culture in this whole thing. Obviously, they have the old style phone on there, and there's just so much cool stuff in that video.
That wasn't the old style phone. That was the phone.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about now. Like people say now it's an old style phone, but that was the phone back then. But the
For
coolest
Andrew,
part
his
is,
age, it's the old style.
I know.
right. So I mean, but again, this vid just like Shandy, the coolest part of the video is the end because it's not this part. I mean, that's like, oh, he's cool, he's obsessed with Kiss, and okay, all right, where's he going? Oh, okay, he's a creature of the night, and they're like this part, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is how the video should have started. Without the kid, like they were kind of walking. I think the video should have started with them walking in, and then the TV like turning on to Kiss, like that. That's so cool. That should be a poster. That's so cool.
It's the modern Kiss Army in 1982. It's really cool. But is that? We saw that Shandy is Peter's last appearance with the band. What was Ace's last official appearance, though?
It's
with the
this.
band? Was
Think
it
it's
this
this?
video, or was it
Yeah.
there was some
Was it
other,
Top of the
some other
Pops?
footage, of promotion
Yeah,
for?
Sean's right. Sean had it.
But
What is
wasn't
it?
that shot before this?
No.
Because don't they say that? Don't they say in history that this was Ace's last day in the band?
Well, if they say it in history, I think that's pretty indicative.
Well, no, I mean,
of the
okay, I
veracity
know.
of the information.
I know, but I think that all those promotional clips were shot before this. Does anybody know when this was shot?
I don't have a clue off the top of my head. That's actually worth checking out. But I think Sean was right, and you were going to say that was which video was it? The I Love It Loud in Holland or Germany? One of those two.
That's on the Kiss My Ass also, isn't it? That's the version on Kiss
It's
My
on
Ass.
Kissology,
Is it on?
I thought.
Yeah, why? I mean, again, don't piss me off because like, why are they putting that pile of shit on Kissology? They didn't put this on there.
Well, maybe the next issue of Kissology or whatever the hell it's called, they can mix and match a little bit more.
Can you imagine, like, okay, just imagine for like a minute, like I'm in the room like putting Kissology together, and they're like, "Oh, here's what we're gonna do," and I'm like, "Why are you putting this pile of shit on there when we could put this cool video on there? What's the matter
They
with
kick
you?"
you out of the room.
Well, no, they would probably like. I could probably see them go. He's
Andrew,
right.
Andrew,
He's
go
right.
stand in the corner.
Andrew,
No,
don't
they-
tell me what to do.
I think they would agree. I think that they need someone with that angry sort of passion that kind of tells them, quit putting piles of shit out and just do. You have the cool stuff. You have it. I mean, okay. I mean, I could make Kiss so much money with so little effort. So little effort. I mean, I can make him money. Why put out that monster book? Just put out a book with all the tour books. People would love it. People would buy it. They would sell a ton.
Yes.
More than the monster book. Anyway, that's my little rant.
That's more than 5. So
I'm just saying, there's every show there's going to be one. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a feature
We have
at the end of the
Andrew's
show.
rant.
Andrew's rant. Like, what about
Nice.
like what could he like? It's kind of like Peter. You know what grinds my gears? Well, this is what grinds my gears about that because They have such cool stuff. This is already done. They finished it 30 years ago. I love how it was finished 30 years ago. So what do? They find a piece of shit and they go, we're going to put this piece of shit on there in this place. Why?
Okay,
I want to know.
so getting back to videos.
Rant done.
Andrew's rant is over. Back to the video.
In
Thank you.
the notes I was putting together for this, I was doing some reading through some invoices, and there's an invoice in May 1974 for 16mm promo. Now, video-wise, what the fuck? I want it. I don't know what it is. I don't know how long it is.
Want it too.
I want it.
Doesn't matter.
I want it. So I think going back, when we go back in time, Bill Aucoin's flip side, experience and his multimedia experience. I mean, that was his world, what he was doing. I'm surprised that there is not more, before Rock and Roll All Night and Come On Love Me, we know they filmed stuff, right? For the Hotter Than Hell commercial.
Yeah.
So, this obviously predates that. What did they film? What were they doing? Were they making promotional films? I know at Naris, was it Naris or, oh shit, it's, what the fuck? The March 1974 canceled shows at Madison Square Garden, Felt Forum. They were actually going to be doing a display that married up multimedia, and KISS was one of the displays, so I'm wondering if that's connected in any way. So, any of the promotional videos, I mean, we've shown all the ones that were actually finished today, but there's a whole bunch of other ones. I mean, you guys remember what's on Kissology, what are they, German, from Unmasked. She's so European, and
She's so European.
Talk to me.
So while
there's a fan edit of What Makes the World Go Round with the 16mm footage from Sydney, which is different than the Sydney concert.
Right, and of course the Aussies also had a separate one, Is That You?, which has become sort of a de facto, concept video as part of the canon. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there. We've only gone through 82. Started recording. Okay, so we got through 1982 there when my system froze up. I can't even remember where we were. Lonnie, help me.
Well,
those gotta put one of those pictures where it's like, please stand by. Technical.
Don't plug the cord out of the wall.
Yeah, please stand by. Julian fucked up again. So every week's a learning experience. So we'd actually finished with the video stream there. So let's bring this show around to its end. So I think I was just talking about how that's everything up through 1982 that we've kind of focused on today.
That we know about, because there could be stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah, so that's the end of the original era, if you will, of KISS videos before the biggest change in the band, taking the makeup off a year later. And we can do a show in the future. We can dissect some of those great 80s videos. And Andrew, with your passionate takes, I really want you involved with that when we do
Actually, no, I'm going to pass on that one because I don't really like 80s KISS. I really don't. I mean, some of the stuff is cool, but it pales in comparison as to what came before and what came after. I can't. Heavens on Fire is a cool song, but I can't put Heavens on Fire next to like I Want You or Mr. Speed or something like that. It just pales in comparison. I understand what they were trying to do, trying to stay afloat. They were trying to make music and they were trying to take advantage of this visual medium. Not for me.
So were we wrong then to leave out of our discussion today? Shout it out live. Shout it out live. I can't speak. Shout it out loud live at Detroit. Detroit Tiger Stadium '96, since that's Originals era, or Psycho Circus, which I think both of those are abominations. The Detroit one's cool. I just don't like how it's filmed or anything about it. I'd rather just watch a show from that era than that video.
Well, just at the time it was cool. Now it's not. But at the time, when you would see, it's like, oh, KISS is on TV and shout out loud and cool, and let me go by Greatest KISS because I don't have the songs in this order.
I never saw that on TV.
I saw it on MTV that summer of '96, and I flipped out when I saw it on. And because I didn't know anything about it, or I just saw that and I knew it was the Tiger Stadium footage, obviously, and it's like, holy crap! And I just ate it up.
I wasn't in America, so no wonder I didn't see it on TV.
So, did you guys see that? Andrew or Sean, did you guys see that on MTV '96 when it came out?
I would have been about 2 or 3, so if I did,
Oh, you're about Andrew's age.
No, I was 11 in '96. I'm a little older.
Wow.
I do remember Psycho Circus playing on MTV like 98, 99. I do remember that.
I never saw Psycho Circus on TV. I had the VHS tape that I had to use the flashlight to find the CD that I wanted because they flipped the CDs on you like bastards. But I don't remember seeing Psycho Circus on TV. I definitely remember seeing Shout Out Loud on TV.
No. I don't remember seeing Psycho Circus on TV either.
I remember that stupid 3D video with the glasses.
That was a bad video.
That was terrible. That whole I bashed on Psycho Circus, that Dodger Stadium show. What was it last week? So I don't think I'll go there. But obviously, none of those compare to the '70s videos that we've seen today. So there's someone out there who knows. Come into the comments and say, hey, I know that they were planning to do a video for what maybe Beth for Destroyer or some of these albums that we said that there's no videos that were filmed for them specifically. That'd be kind of an interesting.
Or what was that 16 millimeter film in May of 1974 for?
Yeah, I would love to know. Because it'd be so cool. It would be Kiss so young and so hungry, and I'd be all about it.
We talked about how much we'd like that live footage about how hungry the band was and on the cusp of breaking it, but any stuff from 74 that you can get your hands on is just, especially visually, is just fantastic. So anybody out there knows anything about that, please leave us comments on the FAQ message board. So
hopefully it still exists, because a lot of, particularly back then, people didn't really save stuff, so it might not even exist anymore.
Yeah, that would be. I'd rather not know that it ever existed than to find out that it did exist and no longer does.
Throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, I think that about wraps up our discussion on the original era of KISS videos. So, thank you guys for coming on the show today, and thank you everyone for listening to the show. And as always, you guys can watch the show on YouTube, which would be a good week to watch it on YouTube, since we're discussing the videos, and we have them up for you to watch. But you can, if you're on the go, you can watch them. You can download the episodes via iTunes. You can listen on the Spreaker app. You can download directly at the KISS FAQ. Like the KISS FAQ message board on Facebook. Andrew, I'm sorry I'm keeping you awake.
No, it was a long night last night, so I'm just my day. This is the first thing I did today. So after this, I gotta do housework.
Sorry, it's 1:15 in Cleveland. That's the first thing you've done all day. I feel really sorry for you. So, well, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you everyone for listening. So for Andrew, for Julian, for Sean, I am Lonnie Weissauer, stlkiss on the KISS FAQ message board. You stay classy, Kiss Army.
Thank you for spending time listening to the KISS FAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KISS FAQ message board and discuss the topic we broadcast today. We hope to see you again.